Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, A Monk in Cloud. In this video, I'm going to show you one of the new chatbot that I've built using a tool called Latitude. It's a chatbot where you can go and ask for the cloud news, the recent releases from the top cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and GCP. And the chatbot will give you the latest news, the new product release, the expansion of the product, or if there is any news around any product that they have, it will give you that information. And I believe that it's not real time, but it is working like a gem. So I just wanted to create a video on that. I'm using a platform called Latitude. A huge thanks to Latitude for sponsoring this video. It's not a monetary benefit because I like the product. I personally used it, and then I'm suggesting to you guys. And I reached out to the CEO of Latitude. He was kind enough to sponsor me and giving a free subscription for next 1 year. So this is all about this platform, and I hope you learn something around it and build beautiful projects around it. I hope there are few challenges that is being offered by Latitude. You can also participate and stand a chance to win exciting prizes as well. All right, so we'll talk more about that in next coming videos, but let's stick to what I have built, and I'll show you the demo of the product as well. So see you in the screen share now. So firstly, I'm here in the documentation of this product. So it's an open source platform for AI prompt engineering, and you can also do the deployment and evolution of your product. And it helps teams to build and test, maintain reliable AI application by providing a complete lifecycle management system for your prompts. So basically, you can design and version your prompts collaboratively. You can test iterations in an interactive playground. So I'll show you the platform itself, where you can create multiple versions of the chatbot, and if there is any improvisation that you want to work on, you can build that in a new version so that you won't lose the previous versions, right? So that's the beautiful part about this product. And you can deploy the prompts. Let's say you want to build a chatbot, and you can do that by giving the prompt to the AI, asking, say, I want you to act as a web scraper and get me this and get me these details. It will create a prompt for you, and you can just input that as a prompt, and you will get the result. That is the chatbot answering you all the questions, right? And the best part is that you can deploy this as a web application. You can get the endpoint. Either you can make it public or it can be private as well. Take that endpoint, and if you want, you can embed it in your applications, or you can directly send that as a link and you can ask them to test it. So we are trying the other way around, the later part, which is we'll create a public endpoint and you will give it to the end users where they can go ahead and ask for the news. Okay. So you have the key features like prompt manager. You have the playground as well, where you can input your question and it will give you the answer as well. You can try and test it, and you will have the AI gateway as well. Evolutions, basically, how would you decide whether you are meeting the success criteria or not? How do you say that this AI application is working fine or not? So you can decide on that as well. Let's say you have bulk questions, and you can input that as an Excel sheet as well, and it will give you the results in the same manner, right? So you will have the access to the logs, and you have the capability to observe what's happening, and you have the test data set. You can build your own batch evolutions, and you can do the regression testing as well. And you can integrate seamlessly with your existing stack with SDKs and APIs, so they will give you all the details. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can join their Slack channel, which that is where I reached out to the founding team, and I got access to the platform. So you can also do that as well. I mean, if not free, I think this platform deserves huge respect, and someone should not ask for freebies. Even I'm thinking, after building this entire projects or videos, I'll make sure to purchase as well if possible. And how do you purchase? Like what's the details, right? So you can go to the pricing section here. Basically, for hobby, they have named it under 3 categories: hobby, team, and enterprise. So in hobby, it's completely free for one user. Okay, so you'll get up to 40k runs per month. 40k runs is a huge, I mean, it's a lot if you ask me. You can create an entire application using 40k runs per month. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Then you have 3 MCP integration. You are talking about MCP these days, and there is a lot of capability that is already there, and you can integrate with 3 MCPs a lot. Next, you will get 30-day log access to check what's happened and what you can do, or you can take action based on that as well. Next, if you want to upgrade, you have something called a Steam, which is costing around $99 a month, and the details what you can get is here. So this is what I've received so far, and enterprise is also there. If you want, you can talk to the founders as well. Okay, so if you want to know what are runs, every time you run a prompt or an evolution, it's considered as a run, right? So how can chains convert counter towards run? You can all read all these FAQs at the end. So now let's jump right into the video where I have built the entire application. I'll show you how it actually works. Okay, so first let's log in. Okay, so just click on login, and it will take you into this page where you can see what are the projects that you have, what data sets you have, what are the settings, and you can see all the information about your project, right? So this is what you have done. Next, if you see here, I have 2 projects created. One is Cloud DevOps News for the website, and the other one is Cloud News. Okay, so I'll take the other one. So I'll go into this Cloud News. Here you see, this is the part where you can control your version. So you can decide on the initial version, or if you want to create a new version, just click on new version and make some edit to the new version as well. That's possible. Next, if you want to create a file, you can do that. So if you see here, I've created a file called Cloud News, and that is where exactly I've given all the prompts. Okay, so if you see here, this is not something that I have generated. So what I've asked is, I've just given a prompt to this GPT 4.0, and it has given this prompt for me, which will create the chatbot for me internally. Okay, so if you see here, you are a web scraper specialized in generating information about AWS, Azure, and GCP cloud. Your task is to find the new features, product releases, or news from these organizations and summarize them, and also give them the link to the source, right? So next, a user will input the cloud provider, whether he wants to go with AWS, Azure, or GCP, he will decide. And later you can, based on that, the AI agent works under the hood, and it will give you all the details as well. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to explain. Now, I told you that there is a placeholder for the user to input which cloud he wants to get the news for. So what he can do is, you can create a parameter. If you see here, I've created a parameter called cloud provider, and if you see here, this is cloud provider. The exact same thing is here. So if I put AWS here, I'll get the response. If you see here, I get a response for AWS. Okay, so if you want to run, you can just run it and test. And if you have a data set where you want to test it, you can do that. But my use case doesn't work with the data set. I don't want the data set. I just want the new features that are already there, right, which has released recently. There are a lot of changes happening in this cloud and DevOps space. So it is difficult for me to understand what's the new feature, what's the use of this feature. So instead, what I can do is, I can use this as a platform, and if required, I can also make it public. You guys can go there and you can ask for the prompt, and it will give you the details. Okay, so once you do this, do not forget to deploy this project. So once you do that, it will deploy it, and you can get the link as well. So if you see here, now if you want to deploy this as a prompt in a JavaScript, you can get all the CLI commands required. And if you want for Python, the same thing is available. For HTTP endpoint, it's different. Okay, like that you can do it. And you can also share it with others. So if you see here, I've run this. I'm running this application as a public endpoint. So if you do not want, you can unpublish this, and no one else will be able to access it. But if you want to access it now, and cool thing is that before going with the accessing part, so you can check the logs as well. What has happened right here? If you see here, one by one past evolution, right? So if it fails, it will show that it has failed, right? So these capabilities are already there, and you can also see evolution criteria that I've added. So based on that, it has decided, right? and I've given LLM as the judge here. I'm not judging whether it is right or wrong. Okay. In the editor, if you want to make some changes, you can also do that, right? And you can decide which model you want to use. As this project is already built, I can not change it right now, but you can do that. And one important thing is that one thing I want to specifically mention, let's say you want to add this feature as an email. So what you can do is click on this triggers, right? Go to email, and if you want, you can enable it. So let's say anyone with the email, right? Then what you can do is, then you can select the cloud provider. Let's say sender email, where you will mention your cloud provider, because remember we had provided a parameter where you will have to input your cloud provider details. So in that way, where do you want you input your cloud provider information? Whether you want to add that as a sender name, sender email, subject, content, or attachment. Where do you want to send that? Let's say I'll say subject itself. Okay. Then I'll name this as cloud news. And cool thing is that if you copy this email address, and if I save this and send an email with the subject AWS or Azure or GCP, I'll get the response back. I can use that, right? So I don't have to go and visit this site and ask for the information. If I just email it, I'll just get the information. Like this, you can do that on yourself as well. And there are other trigger options as well. So if you see, let me show you. You can also schedule it if you want. Basically, every day at a particular time, if you want to run it, you can do that, right? So these capabilities are also there. But for this example, what I've done is I've created a public endpoint, and you can use this public endpoint. So let me copy that. This is the public endpoint. Probably I'll add this in the description. You can also go ahead and check it out, and let me know in the comment section as to how do you feel this, right? Is this something that is helping you, or is there something else that I missed, or should I explore more? Just let me know in the comment section. Of course, there is always room for learning. So let us know in the comment sections. We will create more such AI related videos in future as well. Now let's go and paste this endpoint URL in the favorite web browser. And if you see, it says cloud news by Amonkin Cloud, and you need to input your cloud provider, whether AWS or Azure or GCP, to get the latest news, features, and product release. So let me say AWS. And if I run the prompt, you can see this, right? A new feature, AWS Lambda Snapstart. And it is also giving you the HTTP endpoint URL. And the summary is also designed. Okay. So this is how you can use this platform. Okay. Yeah. If you want to check about Azure, you can just go ahead and say Azure, and you can just run the prompt, right? So you can see Azure updates as well. Similarly, you can test for other GCP as well, and see if this is exactly the new release or the new feature that GCP or AWS or Azure developed, and then see how you can leverage this application. So this was one thing that I was thinking about to build on myself, but I thought Latitude is a great tool, so why not use that platform? But yeah, I think this was cool enough. So I have also created a short video of it. I got a huge response saying that how do you build it? So let us know. So I thought let me make a separate video on my channel and share it with you all. I hope you enjoyed learning along with me. If you're liking the content that I'm creating, please consider subscribing and share it with your friends. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one with another interesting subject. Thank you all.